In the quaint village of Ravenwood, nestled between dense, dark forests and misty mountains, everyone had heard of the legend of the lost wishing well. It was said to grant any wish, but those who went searching for it never returned. Some believed it was a myth, a tale to keep children from wandering too far into the woods. But Maya and Leo, two curious and brave teenagers, were determined to uncover the truth. It all started one chilly autumn evening when the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the village. The air was thick with the scent of burning leaves, and a cold breeze whispered secrets through the trees. Maya and Leo sat in the village square, listening to the elders' stories. Mr. Grayson, the oldest and wisest of them all, spoke of the lost wishing well with a twinkle in his eye and a grave tone in his voice. "They say the well is hidden deep in the forest," Mr. Grayson began, his voice low and hushed. "It can grant any wish, but it's guarded by dark forces. Those who seek it must be prepared to face their deepest fears." Maya and Leo exchanged a glance, their hearts pounding with excitement and a touch of fear. They had always been drawn to adventure, and the legend of the lost wishing well was too tempting to resist. "We have to find it, Leo," Maya whispered, her eyes wide with determination. "Think of all the good we could do with a wish." Leo nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. But we have to be careful." Mr. Grayson said it's dangerous." As the villagers began to disperse, Maya and Leo made a pact. They would set out at dawn, armed with only their wits and a few supplies, to find the lost wishing well. The next morning, as the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, Maya and Leo met at the edge of the forest. They carried backpacks filled with food, water, a map, and a flashlight. The forest loomed before them, dark and foreboding, but they were undeterred. "Ready?" Leo asked, his voice steady but his eyes betraying his nervousness. "Ready," Maya replied, gripping her flashlight tightly. They stepped into the forest, the trees closing in around them like silent sentinels. The air was cool and damp, and the only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the distant call of birds. They followed a narrow, winding path that seemed to lead deeper into the heart of the forest. As they walked, they talked about their hopes and fears. Maya wished to find her missing brother, who had vanished years ago without a trace. Leo wanted to cure his mother's illness, which had left her bedridden and weak. Their wishes were noble, but they knew the journey would be perilous. Hours passed, and the forest grew darker and more oppressive. Strange sounds echoed through the trees, and shadows danced in the corners of their vision. They pressed on, driven by their determination and the bond of their friendship. Just as they were beginning to lose hope, they stumbled upon a clearing. In the center stood a tall, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Carved into the bark was a riddle. "Seek the well with heart so true, face your fears and wishes brew." Maya and Leo exchanged a glance, their excitement renewed. They had found a clue, and their journey was just beginning. The clearing seemed peaceful, but the air was charged with an eerie energy. Maya and Leo approached the oak tree, studying the riddle carved into its bark. "Seek the well with heart so true," Leo repeated. What do you think it means?" Maya thought for a moment. "I think it means we have to be brave and honest. We have to face whatever comes our way with courage." Leo nodded, though a shiver ran down his spine. "And face your fears? That doesn't sound good." They examined the hollow trunk and found a small hidden path leading deeper into the forest. It was narrow and overgrown, but it was their only lead. Taking a deep breath, they stepped onto the path, bracing themselves for whatever lay ahead. The path twisted and turned, leading them through dense thickets and over gnarled roots. The further they went, the darker and more oppressive the forest became. Strange noises filled the air, whispers, rustling leaves, and the distant howls of unknown creatures. Maya and Leo clung to each other, their resolve tested by the growing sense of dread. Suddenly, the path opened into a dark glade. In the center stood a decrepit old well, surrounded by a circle of stones. The well looked ancient, its stones covered in moss and ivy. As they approached, A cold wind whipped through the glade, and the ground seemed to tremble beneath their feet. This must be it," Amaya whispered, her voice trembling with a mixture of fear and excitement. But as they reached the well, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a tall, cloaked figure with glowing red eyes and a menacing presence. Maya and Leo froze, their hearts pounding in their chests. "Who dares to seek the lost wishing well?" the figure hissed, its voice echoing through the glade. "We do," Amaya replied, summoning all her courage. "We seek the well to make our wishes." The figure let out a chilling laugh. "Very well. But first, you must face your greatest fears." The ground beneath them began to shift, and they were plunged into darkness. Maya and Leo found themselves in a pitch-black void, separated from each other. They called out, but their voices seemed to be swallowed by the darkness. Panic set in as they realized they were alone, each facing their own trial. Maya's fear manifested first. She found herself standing in a dimly lit room, surrounded by mirrors. In each reflection, she saw her brother, looking lost and afraid. He called out to her, but every time she tried to reach him, he disappeared into another mirror. "Maya, help me!" His voice echoed, filled with despair. Tears streamed down Maya's face as she struggled to find her brother. She realized that her greatest fear was losing him forever. Summoning her courage, she closed her eyes and focused on her love for him. "I'm here, brother. I'll always be here for you." The mirrors shattered, and the darkness lifted. Maya found herself back in the glade, her heart pounding but her resolve stronger than ever. Meanwhile, Leo faced his own trial. He found himself in a dark, cold room, with the sound of his mother's labored breathing echoing around him. Shadows loomed over her, whispering terrible things. "She won't make it," they taunted. "You'll lose her." Leo's heart ached with fear and helplessness. But then he remembered his mother's strength and resilience. "No," he shouted. "She will get better. We'll fight this together." The shadows dissipated, and Leo was back in the glade, feeling a renewed sense of hope. The cloaked figure reappeared, its red eyes glowing with approval. "You have faced your fears and proven your courage. You may now make your wishes." Maya and Leo approached the well, their hearts filled with determination. They knew that whatever happened next, they had each other and the strength to overcome any obstacle. As they stood before the well, Maya and Leo felt a strange energy emanating from it. The air crackled with magic, and the water inside the well shimmered with an ethereal light. "Make your wishes," the cloaked figure urged. "But remember, true wishes come from the heart." Maya stepped forward, her hands trembling. "I wish to find my brother and bring him back home." Leo followed, his voice steady. "I wish for my mother to be cured of her illness." The well glowed brighter, and the water rippled as if responding to their wishes. For a moment, everything was silent. Then, a soft, melodic voice filled the air. "Your wishes are pure and true. But remember, the greatest power lies within you." The light from the well enveloped Maya and Leo, and they felt a warmth spreading through their bodies. When the light faded, they found themselves back in the village square, surrounded by familiar faces. Maya's brother stood before her, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Maya? Is it really you?" Tears of joy streamed down Maya's face as she hugged her brother tightly. "Yes, it's me. I found you." Leo looked around, searching for his mother. He saw her walking towards him, her steps steady and strong. "Mom?" he called out, his voice breaking. She smiled, her eyes filled with love. "I'm here, Leo. I feel so much better." The villagers gathered around, amazed by the miraculous events. Mr. Grayson stepped forward, his eyes twinkling with pride. "You have done what many could not. You have found the lost wishing well and unlocked its true power." Maya and Leo realized that the well had granted their wishes, but it had also shown them the strength they had within themselves. They had faced their fears, relied on each other, and come out stronger. With their wishes fulfilled and their loved ones by their side, Maya and Leo felt a profound sense of gratitude. The village of Ravenwood buzzed with excitement, and the story of their adventure spread like wildfire. The Lost Wishing Well was no longer a mere legend. It was a testament to the power of courage, friendship, and the human spirit. Maya and Leo's journey had inspired others to believe in themselves and the magic that lay within their hearts. Days turned into weeks, and life in Ravenwood returned to normal. But the bond between Maya and Leo grew even stronger. They continued to explore the forest, seeking new adventures and helping others along the way. One evening, as the sun set over the village, casting a golden glow, Maya and Leo sat by the edge of the forest. They talked about their journey, the trials they had faced, and the wishes that had come true. We did it, Maya," Leo said, a smile spreading across his face. We found the well and made our wishes." Maya nodded, her eyes shining with happiness. Yes, but we also found something more important. We found ourselves and each other." As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, they knew that their adventure was just the beginning. The Lost Wishing Well had taught them that true magic came from within, and as long as they had each other, they could face any challenge. And so the legend of the Lost Wishing Well lived on, not just as a tale of magic and mystery, but as a story of hope, courage, and the unbreakable bond of friendship.